J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Make sure this is where, there we go. Break down this Raisin Kanan episode 2 for season 4. I think this was a good episode. I liked it. I don't know. We all let me know in the comments what you think. I appreciate everybody, whether y'all watching on the replay or live. But I think this should make a lot of people that maybe wasn't so happy with the first episode of season 4. They should probably be a lot happier this time because it picks up where we left off with the finale. It didn't like the first episode was kind of filling in the blanks and things, which I thought was pretty interesting. I liked it. It had its moments that, you know, it did kind of get redundant. I could see where some people may feel that way, but overall I thought it was decent. But this right here, this felt like actually kind of like episode 1 in a way would normally be. We picking up with a lot of new content. We see that Unique is out to be the destroyer right now. He gonna be sabotaging everything, and I think what really gonna make a difference is him taking out Rock's lawyer. He been pretty much saving her and keeping her clean through a lot of drama. And now that he's out of the mix, and with Unique thinking that she might be sleeping with him and stuff, like, what? He's sitting here worried about that cootie cat. I thought he was still in love with his baby mama, the way he looked when he was following her and saw when she was struggling bringing groceries up with the little Edith Bunker ass little grocery cart. I remember those from the 80s. It wasn't too many people using those type of push shopping carts in the 90s, because in the 90s we started going to plastic bags, so people didn't carry brown paper bags as much. Back when you had those brown paper bags, they didn't have handles. You could only carry so many. You couldn't, you know, the plastic bag had the handle in it. That was the invention, you know. Anyway, let's say what's up to a couple of my people in the comments. Damian Kenny, what's good, fam? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you for coming through. All your support, as always. Oh, Mizzy 20, salute from Boston. What's good, Boston? How you feeling, brother? Damian Kenny, you say Unique is a mad dog, time to put him down. Well, in his defense, he was almost killed. Now, he going after the wrong ones. I mean, I don't know how he feel that his brother got taken out. I mean, he know it was his brother that tried to take him down, but it seemed he didn't like that. So maybe he should have, I don't know. It's kind of hard in that game to try to investigate at his position, because anybody you ask, you don't know if they lying or telling the truth. You in the world of criminals. It's hard to trust in that game. It's hard to know if they lying or what he gonna ask Rock. Even if she told the truth, it may not seem that way to him. He may think she's just coming up with this just to do that. So I don't think he could ever really probably know in his situation. So Peanut, what's good, bro? How you doing, man? Peanut, how you feeling? What's good with you? Everybody, please hit the like. Appreciate it, Damian Kenny, for that support and that reminder. Definitely appreciate it. I got this fan on in case y'all think I might have got some of Rock's product. I'm over here using this fan. That's one of the things where old boy was in the room with Kanan. He talking about, I got allergies. They won't go away. I don't know why. The allergies, they come and go, just like my money. I got allergies. They like, okay, okay. That dude about to be robbing him pretty soon. That dude got more than allergies. He got a habit. That's what he got. He got a habit. He got high on own supply. See, the problem is when I turn this fan off, I start feeling better, but then I get hot. Shout out to my people at White Owl. They gave me this hoodie. But it's kind of hot. Smoking is bad for you. But this thing got me hot, so I was hot. But then I turn the fan on, then my nose start running, then I get cool, then I turn it on. I got hot flashes. Anyway, so you know what? I'm gonna end up having to take this thing off because I'm just burning up and I don't want my nose to keep running. Anyway, so this episode was fire. We see Lulu getting out of rehab. We see Jukebox in the military on some old major pain. Old boy was worried about them doing the major pain up his butt. Ain't nobody worried about your booty. You know, so how's she gonna leave the military? What did she do? A dishonorable discharge? What did she just went AWOL? I don't understand how that's gonna come back. And then she went to Atlanta. And you know what, man? Some people that may be watching this, they may think this is a long time ago. I don't think so. I guess because I'm older, I guess now, and they're the ages that I was during that time period. And I remember this stuff. It doesn't seem like so much has changed other than like the phone or technology. But, you know, anyway, she went to Atlanta to go get her liquor license. She was, go get some chocolate. She went. But in Atlanta in the 90s, in the early 90s, 94, 95, around that time, everybody wanted to go to school in Atlanta, go to Clark Atlanta or Morehouse or Spelman or Morris Brown and all the parties, Freaknik, everything that was going on in Atlanta during that time. I mean, you know, that was the place to be. So for her to end up in Atlanta, I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised that old girl that was all in Kanan face was down there. You know, I guess a lot of time has passed since we saw the last episode. Seemed like maybe a few months. But we see that they trying to make their little adjustments or whatever. Kanan and Rock got one crazy relationship, boy. He over here dropping off packs to his mama. Talking about what's up with the re-up. What? Talking about his mama and the re-up, and they talking about negotiating and making the money and this and that. I mean, they got one crazy, crazy relationship. And even Shorty pointed it out when he was trying to smash. And she like, just because things is crazy between you and your mama don't mean it's going to be between me and mine. I mean, they got a drug dealing relationship. So, you know, they was way out there. But, you know, it's kind of messed up, the situation that he in with her. But when he went to go and talk with Snaps and Pop, he thought he was running something. I ain't done talking. They like, she like, come on, Kanan, it's time to go, baby. Mama can't help you here. You know, you're about to get that air whooped up, baby. And they ain't gonna do it like mama used to. It's gonna hurt. But I gotta give Kanan his props, dude, rolling in the Benz 190 like Ice Cube on America's Most Wanted. Just because they want to find me, just because I'm in the Benz 190, talking about the police. Anyway, he was rolling in the Benz 190. That car right there was one of the top cars you could have at the time, one of the most expensive cars a person could have at the time. You know, of course, a couple of them was Mercedes S-Class was higher, but that was an old man car. Anyway, we see Lulu he get another job mission with Stefano this episode. I think this might be another part of the downfall of Lulu. I mean, not Lulu, Marvin. Marvin, he told him to rough dude up, you know, give him a little bit of that Marvin special. But when Marvin whacked him, he about to pull the piece out on Marvin. Marvin like, man, you just gonna pull the piece out on me, old man? He like, you can't do nothing to me. I make too much money for Stefano. You just his lapdog for the white man. You can't do this and that. Then Marvin got a little sensitive. He said, you ain't see them shots coming. He like, I'm the one called the shots. He said, oh yeah, you ain't called them shots, did you? But I think that's about to come back for Marvin, especially since the only thing really saving him was that lawyer that they had. And now that he out the picture, and who's to say, like, I think this is something that they were foreshadowing, is that Rock said, who are those connects that you got? And he was saying, hey, I don't want to tell you, or whatever the case. Well, those connects may get upset when they find out their boy is dead, and they know who his clients are, and they may end up thinking that she had something to do with it, and who knows, bring pressure to her that she wasn't expecting, that she couldn't do anything about or see. So, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to turn this off. Tried to go from a different spot this time. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna take this hoodie off. All right. I'll take this off. I'm burning up. Sorry about that. Well, one thing for sure. This damn hoodie is hot. I don't know if that's polyester or what. That's that polyester. That ain't cotton, because that was not breathing at all. Woo. I feel a lot better now, man. I could barely think over here, y'all. I was burning up over here. I'm about to go through a whole bottle of water in the first 5 minutes. Woo. All right. Now I know. Yeah, oh my goodness. Now my phone just died. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all favorite parts of this episode was in the comments while I get a couple of these things situated. Oh my goodness. Tyrell Brown, you say Crystal really wanted to be a mother. Yeah. She actually, I had to give it to her. She was real mature in that situation. And that was something that brought up, some things with me, because around that time, around that age, I was very immature, like Kanan around that time. And so people was hard, at least men that I knew. So to see him acting similar, was taught that, hey, you took care of that. It wasn't no big deal. It wasn't a lot of deep thought into it was a life, or all of the things that people think about today. It wasn't all of those thoughts involved. It was more about, did you want it or not, or the affordability, things like that. It wasn't that. So to see that, I don't know, was that being mature for her, or was that something modern put in? I'm not sure, but to see that she was a more mature, it gave him some thought. It gave him some cause to think more about his actions and stuff. So when they saw each other later, it was good to see that he kind of came around and was like, you know what, I'm right. I deserve a slap or two. And after you slap this, I'm gonna slap that, but I put on a hat. That's all, you know what I mean? Anyway. But yeah, it was interesting to see how, that was like a moment of growing up, maturity. And that's the thing in life. You never know when those moments come. You just live and you getting yourself in situations and getting yourself out of situations, and then you realize, okay, woo, I won't do that again, or hey, I learned from that, or whatever the case. Speaking of learning from a situation, we see Famous is on the run. So last episode, which some people didn't appreciate, but we saw from the different perspective that Famous was still at the club rapping. So as far as we know, yeah, he was talking and had the things with the cops, but we don't know what happened to him. And now we know that his song has been doing pretty good, but nobody's been able to find him. Turns out he's on the run and nobody's been able to locate him. Lulu, he gets out of the rehab, and one of the I think he kind of put a little too much pressure on himself. Again, I never been in rehab because I don't quit. Okay, I'm not a quitter. No, I never been in rehab, so I wouldn't know. But in my opinion, I'm trying to do 2-3 things over here, y'all, and this thing is. But in my opinion, I think he was putting a little too much pressure on himself. Because when he went and had that meeting with the record exec, he talking about my next decision's got to be perfect, or this or that. I think he could have gone ahead and did that. I think as far as his sobriety goes, he shouldn't mess around and get, like, when he was about to celebrate, he got the water. If that's what you feel like doing, that's fine, especially since most people wouldn't even go to a bar after dealing with something like that, from what I've heard. But I like how the record dude was like, hey, man, I've been to rehab 3 times, cocaine, alcohol, coochie. Hey, in that order, we all need redemption, baby. What's up? And so I think that made Lulu relax a little bit to know that, hey, man, even if you do mess up, you could go back again. Not to be your goal, but hey, don't put so much pressure on yourself. And like he told him, you're supposed to leave the door open. So leave this door open. I think that's going to be a good move for him, especially after he went and got, who was that? The next Freddie Gibbs. He went and got old dirty bastard free from jail, which dude did have some rhymes on the stage. Who was that? I bet you that's somebody that's a real rapper, and I just don't even know who it is. I mean, I don't really see a lot of people no more. Like, I don't watch music videos. You hear some music, but then I don't go and look them up and see what they look like. And I mean, the main people, we kind of know what they look like, but I don't know who that could have been. Who was that? Big X the Plug? No, I know who Big X the Plug is. Anyway, I think Lulu, as soon as things start working out for him, sadly, don't come back to haunt him, come crashing down. But it's good to see he got a little bit of redemption. Another thing, I think that they gave a hint. All right, I gotta turn this off. I'm turning into Marvin, old Marvin. But you know what? As soon as I turned it off, I just got hot again. You know what? It was like 77 degrees today. So it was almost 80 degrees today. It's out there. It's hot. I probably need to just turn the air on. Let me see. Right quick. I hate to stop, but I'm burning up. The thing I was gonna say is I think they put in there about what's gonna happen with Rock's fate. So I think what's gonna happen with Rock is because the attorney, although he was killed, so this may not work out. He said the feds were looking to make a deal, and that she could get basically a jail-free card immunity if she snitch on Stefano. Also, the Fed won't be snitch. Fed won't be snitch. Her and Kanan talk like, oh, you won't fit me switch. Oh, you won't do this, oh, you won't do that. Oh, you want me switch? You want me snitch? I ain't no snitch. Anyway, that could be one reason why she could have been gone from his life, why we didn't see her, or what could have happened to her, or whatever the case may be. Some people were speculating that she may be dead, maybe in jail. She could be in witness protection. Who knows? We may see that. So I don't put it past her. She might end up in witness protection. Damian Kenny, the 90s ATL freaknik in the clubs, man, legendary. They came across Big Meech. I'm probably sure she probably gonna see Big Meech in one of the clubs in Atlanta. They're gonna be like, who are those people? Oh, that's the BMF guys. Check them out. They got a new season coming out too. They plug their other shows. Damian Kenny, you say Kanan is like one-eyed John Witherspoon on the Martin TV show. Who I got to kill to get me a pack round here. See, I don't remember that bit. Getting ready to take it down, boy. I remember Otis. You say, Jay, do you know Ice Spice? How do you feel about her? I know who it is. I wouldn't know what she looked like. I think she light-skinned, though, actually. But other than that, you could put 4 or 5 light-skinned girls looking similar, and I wouldn't probably pick out the right one. But what about Ice Spice? No, she got a song. I know some of her songs. I think I know it's her song. But I wouldn't be able to pick them out. They play so many women rappers on the radio. That's me using this damn mouse, touching on this mouse again. This mouse is so sensitive. I'm gonna have to take that sensitivity off. Love what you collect. What's up? What's up, girl? How you feeling? Appreciate you for coming through. So y'all let me know what y'all liked about this episode. What I liked about it is I did like seeing Unique handling business, taking out the lawyer. I like that that's going to throw a monkey wrench in the game. I did like seeing Kanan in that little meeting with Pop and Smoke, with Pop Smoke. He was with Pops and Smoke, Snaps and Pop. He was with Pop Smoke in that little meeting when they basically told him, hey, boy, yo, you is done. You best to leave. And his mama was like, come on, baby. Time to go, baby. What else? That little scene with them and the little talk with Kanan and his girl. That was cool. It was interesting. Jukebox. Boy, I know she was hot. You think I'm hot sitting here talking to y'all? I know she had to be hot under them covers when she was getting that glazed donut. You know what I'm saying? I know she was hot up under there. Shoot. Her girl was like, ooh, juke. Juke, juke, juke. There it is. Juke, there it is. Juke, there it is. Shaka-laka, shaka-laka. She had us singing the remix over there. Straight up. She said, Damian Kenny said Ice Spice is a light-skinned Ethiopian with a back end. A light-skinned Ethiopian. I've never heard that she was Ethiopian. She's from Ethiopia? I didn't know that. I never heard that. Anyway. Jukebox. She was getting a little bit of that allspice up in her. You know what I mean? She was definitely tongue-tied. She was tasting the rain. You know what I mean? That's why she had to get up out the army. For they tasted that rainbow and then make her leave, talking about what magazine she look at possibly. Marvin, I did like when Marvin picked up Lulu from the rehab, and they had their talk in the car. And he was saying, you know, you always have my back. You always been there for me. I mean, remember Lulu thought they was gonna kill him. So to go to the rehab was a whole lot better than ended up with a bullet between the brain, you know. So that was interesting. As far as Jukebox in the military. So when this episode start off, we see Jukebox and basic training in the military. And it's a couple things that I had thoughts about that. One thing recently is I saw some podcast where they were talking about how Americans don't want to enroll in the military and things like that, as if it's Americans' fault. It's not. It's that a lot of Americans have been involved in these wars that they know are not the best thing for us, and whether it was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and all of this. But in 94, 92, 95, around this time period, it was still a lot of patriotism and people wanted to go in the military and be a part of the military. It's things like what she experienced, which is why they did that Don't Ask, Don't Tell with Bill Clinton for people in the military and things like that. I think that the military and politicians have done a lot to discourage people from wanting to be in the military or support the military, and that's messed up. And now, like, for example, I was even around that time thinking of joining the military, the Air Force. I didn't want to go and be on the front line and get shot. I didn't want to be a pilot either, though. I wanted to be somewhere else and be working on something technical or something, and then go home at night, you know. But anyway, just too much stuff was going on and things, and with I'm just glad I kind of didn't. Sometimes I think about it and then I'm kind of glad I didn't, because one of the things that 50 Cent said in the narration, that's some of the things that a lot of people don't always maybe catch, or, you know, it's a lot going on. So I ain't saying it like somebody's slow, but he was saying, like, towards the end that, you know, what did he say? You can be made into a soldier, but killers are born. And like, I couldn't be made into a soldier. Like, Juke couldn't be made into a soldier. I'm not saying I'm a born killer or this or that. I hope not. I didn't kill nobody, so I don't want to be in that situation. But I definitely didn't want to be a follower, especially of something that I didn't believe in or fully know or support. And just because I said so never worked for me. Like, even as a kid, like, if my mom or somebody explained or told me why, I would do it, no problem. But just because I said so never worked. So anyway, but like we see, what's his name? Joey Badass character. I can't even think of his name right now. Anyway, he ain't no military man, but he out on a mission. He out here assassinating, taking out the ops, you know what I'm saying? He out here one-man wrecking crew, you know, Rambro up in this piece. He about to go ahead and cause destruction. He a little weapon of mass destruction. And so I'm wondering, how is he gonna, like, I think actually by him taking out Rock Lawyer, he actually really messed her up more in a way than she could ever did to him, because a woman like Rock behind bars is like the worst thing ever happened to her. She'd probably rather go out with a bullet than end up with a long stretch behind bars, you know. And then also, remember, this is also around the same time that Biden crime bill, I don't want to say Biden crime bill because that's what it's being renamed, but it is what it is. It was called the crime bill. because everybody was worried about all the violence and things going on with the dope game and things, back then. And also, I'm gonna put this link up here too if anybody wanna check out this episode. Also, what reminded me of something watching this when we saw Kanan packaging up everything and he had his little crew or whatever working for him and this and that, is that back in the day, like when I was coming up, everybody that was in the game like that for the most part was teenagers. Now, yeah, when you go up higher the ladder, they were older. But yeah, most people that was in the dope game that I would come across in my experience in the 90s was like young teenagers under 20. And now it seems most people involved in the game of moving stuff, whether it's pills or drugs or all this other stuff, weed even. It seemed like everybody is older. Now, again, I ain't a teenager, so I don't know where the teenagers go. But in my experience, every time I see something or hear something or come across something, these people are at least 25 and up. Very few are young in doing this stuff. So I think that's a difference. I think it would be harder for me, a 21, 25-year-old or something, to be starting to sell some stuff and get in the game. Although, when it gets down to it, you need to put food on the table. You might need to do what you need to do. But when I was 15 or a teenager and things, you kind of, your options to make money are limited. It's only so many places you can work, so many things you can do. And to make that amount of money when you don't really have any skills, you don't have education or a degree, so those were a lot of options that you couldn't have. He would have never been able to get that type of car or whatever at his age back then, So, but one thing that I did notice in this episode is that he was very organized. I didn't see this type of organization in my life with a young person in the game. I mean, again, never was in the game to be saying I know anything like that, but I ain't claiming to be Raisin Kanan. But he had a ledger and he was keeping track of books of who was getting what and do this and that. And everybody that I knew or came across mostly kept everything in their head. They didn't write it down. I don't know how much he moving, what he doing. Maybe he too much to keep track of, but most people did everything in their head, kept track of everything in their head, which you'd be surprised how much you could do. But she was like, well, let me go over your books and maybe we can see where we can come up and make some money or whatever. I'm like, what? They talking like they running a grocery store or something. Like, let me go over your books. Like so that's something that I definitely don't have any experience of knowing anything about or seeing. I could see if they was the mob or a certain level, but as him being a teenager, yeah, you got a couple people work for you and stuff, but I don't know how that even works because everybody was kind of independent contractors there in Chicago. So I don't know what are he paying these people salaries? I don't understand how that works. So what is he actually really running a company? I don't get it. The way it worked from my experience to say he was getting it from rock and he got, for example, a pound, for example, easy math, then he would say, hey, I'm selling these pounds for $200, for example, and, an ounce for X amount and And then people that he know, them couriers, would then come to him and say, well, give me a pound or give me a quarter pound or give me this or that. And then they would buy it and he would get the money. And then whatever they do is up to them. You make money, you sell it, you don't, you smoke it, you whatever, that's up to you. You want more? Give me my money that I want for this. And then you do whatever. So I don't know what they doing with the turf and the turf. I mean, I guess they've been way more complicated with what they have going on at a smaller scale at a younger age than anything I would see. But anyway, I think that's a liability, in my opinion, having all of that written down. And he don't even have that door lock, people coming in and out, because old girl came in the door and Shorty or whatever coming in and out the door, and they don't have the door locked. He can get raided or anything and that go. Anyway, I could be overthinking that, possibly. But that was something that pointed out to me. I was thinking, man, he's like working harder than if he was at school doing a real job. But he is making a lot more money too. He wouldn't have been driving the Benz and wearing all the clothes he wear at school and working a real job, but he wouldn't possibly be getting ready to go to jail or get killed. Now, one thing they showed this episode is that Howard's, what was his captain? Detective Howard's captain, he did not like what happened to Howard. So they had a press meeting and they had the FBI say that what? Howard was killed by some foreign actors. What the heck? Some foreign actors, but they didn't have him in custody. How do they know who it was? Anyway, the captain, he wasn't buying it. He pulled in one of his detectives that he cool with, told him, hey, look here, I'm about 6 months away from getting out of here. Me and you, we gonna get to the bottom of this. I bet whoever took Howard down is whoever wet him up back, a couple months ago. So then next thing you know, they out looking for who maybe took Howard down, and of all people, he comes across Kanan. Like, you have no idea how close he was to solving that. He gave Kanan a nice little gut punch. I don't know what you talking about, 5-0. But I'm glad to see Kanan talk to his mama about that. Now, of course, I only watched it a little bit, and I've been dealing with this fan and blowing in my nose, so I can't hardly remember. But did he talk to his mama about what she did before or after that cop punched him? I want to say it was after, which makes a little more sense to me, maybe, why he asked her, because, he didn't took a gut punch. And when they was out after they was talking with Pop Smoke, that, hey, she talking about the moves. She talking about, you may not like the moves I make, but you like the result. You love the result. You may not like the moves I make, but you love the result. I know I love that result because I know it be in the line. Nah, but that was a nice little line. You may not like the moves I make, but you love the results. Now bow down. Nah. But he like, okay, but you made that move taking out Howard, she like, yeah, I had to, because that's what's best for her. He like, yeah, that was my father. One of the problems she has is she doesn't explain enough to him. And if you want to play that role of, I'm the parent, I don't have to explain and this and that, you can't be a criminal and involving him in all of this stuff. And then at the same time, when he walking away, you talking about, I may not be able to trust you as my son, but I damn sure got to trust my business partners. Like, she just don't get it. But then again, she's pretty much brought her family into this business, because from what we've learned, Lulu and Marvin ain't really want to be in this like that, especially Lulu. So she done been the lines between family and business for a long time that she probably don't even know no difference. You know, like she probably didn't even, well, we didn't see she had any remorse that she picking up packs from her son. See, it's one thing, like if you're gonna choose this life and that's your choice, so be it. Maybe I can't stop it. Maybe I don't support it. Maybe I don't get in your way. Maybe I do, whatever the case, but that's your choice. But when you choose to work with them or you supporting it or you bringing them in, you could have possibly led them to their destruction. Yeah, you could say, well, I showed them or they did this and it's their own choice. They didn't have to do it. But, you know, sometimes that bad influence is more powerful than people want to give it credit to. Like she's the influence of her son's life. And you're supposed to be the best as the mother. You know, so definitely something that she gonna have to deal with one day, maybe. I guess I don't want to say definitely. One day, maybe, similar to her mama. You know, because we see that, you know, they mama goes to another doctor's appointment, this time with Kanan, and it come to find out that pretty much she's done for. The cancer is aggressive, it's spreading, and she had one big statement that I remember, and I never understood this. Maybe somebody can explain this to me. I never been this person, and I never understood this in people, and I love to try to look into why people think and do why they do, but I don't get this. Maybe it's a narcissism, but she said, yeah, I may be afraid of facing death, but I'm a whole lot more afraid of facing my children. Now, yeah, I get it. She did them wrong. She may have been selfish. She may have not have done this and that. But I've never been a person that want to die with a lie or die with, if I was wrong, so be it. You know, I don't like it to go too long, because I think the longer someone waits or the longer that you have time in between not talking or doing something, and if it's your fault, it makes it harder to apologize. It makes it harder for you to come to make something happen. And also, the longer you wait, people get used to not talking to you, not dealing with you, and then they don't have as much of a need to talk or deal with you and things. So the interest isn't there. So I try my best, if I have done somebody, you know, that way, to try to rectify it, you know. But, you know, people don't always do that. In my situation, people may say something, do something to me. I see that don't always be the case. So, but I never wanted to be stuck with an idea or stuck with some thought, even if I know I'm wrong, but I don't want to admit it, or, you know, I can't do this because I won't be right. I never felt that way. So, or to rather die than to hear what they got to say and give them that opportunity, I think is just selfish to the end. And I think Kanan, although it ain't his place, he made a good point. You know, some secrets ain't meant to be kept. And I think he should tell his mama and Lulu and them, or tell somebody something, and let them come and see it. She'd probably be mad, but, you know, it's better to be able to still talk about it than they find out and be surprised, and then they find out he knew. Then be something that they can put on him. You know, the grandma shouldn't even have put him in that position where they can be mad at him over something that she did that he really had nothing to do with. You know, that's more BS I think she's doing. Corey Washington, what's good? You say, so that rich lawyer had a living complex that any thug could just walk into. Things don't work like that, especially in NYC. There's cameras and security guards all over those buildings. Corey Washington, You make an excellent point, my brother. And you know what? To anybody to be saying, man, that was in the 90s. It wasn't like that. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. The 90s were not that long ago. It's not the 70s. And for nice buildings, like it was some nice buildings in Chicago that had doormen and cameras and things. So yeah, they may not be digital. Man, you may not be able to access it on your phone, but they had cameras, they had doorman, they had those things. So for him to be able to get in like that, that was some old Tommy Egan type stuff right there. Which that's even way more not believable because he does it in modern day times. So, but you right. He probably more than likely would have had at least a doorman. He would have probably at least had a doorman. So that's a good one. I didn't even think about that aspect of it yet. That's typical power. That's typical power. The problem I have with that is why did they make him have to take him out at his house? Like they could have wrote him to be followed anywhere. He could have followed him and went to McDonald's. Well, that wouldn't have been good. They'd had cameras, but they could have followed him to some friends or anything. I don't know. They didn't have to make it, like that. But I don't know. That's power. I wish I had some tissue right here next to me, but I wasn't expecting to have my nose running. Let's see. Danny, you say folks know what to expect from death. You never know what to think when asking for forgiveness. I mean, it's either a yes or a no. I mean, it's either a yes or a no. They weren't going to beat her up. They wasn't going to kill her or hurt her. Either they're going to accept it or they're not. And if they don't accept it, was she in the same spot she was in? Not talking to them, and they not, on speaking terms, and they not accepting how she feels or whatever. And if they do accept it, then you have a chance to move forward. That's the only thing you can do. But you have to be sincere in your apology. See, the problem is with her is that they'll probably think she's only trying to apologize because she about to die and she wants some sympathy or want them to feel sorry or whatever. Like she should just call them over for a dinner and just apologize and just leave it alone and don't even say that she about to die. And then leave it at that. And then if they come or they do this or they find out or do whatever, then it is what it is. But I don't think that, because I think if she did that, maybe they'd start to call or check on her, and then she could say, well, I was just going to the doctor. Oh, you going to the doctor? Why? Well, time to go. Gotta go. Then they'd be like, so that's why you apologize. I knew it. So I guess it never works. Ambi Bambi, what's good, girl? How you doing? Appreciate you for coming through. Antonio Wingham, what's good? You say without the lawyer, things going downhill now. I agree 1,000%. Rock, that was probably the biggest blow to her organization or her group, whatever she been doing, whatever you want to call it. That was the biggest blow she ever caught, I think, because he's been Teflon for her. And I think actually, because I mentioned this earlier about Rock possibly turning state's evidence on Stefano. Well, I think that's a double-edged sword. Because all that has to happen is that Stefano has a little birdie tell him that, hey, Rock got a deal on the table to snitch on you and she get immunity. And we already know what that means, right? She got to go. Leaving her around is just too risky. Because anytime she feel like it, she could just decide to turn me in and I'm gone. So she got to go before she even gets to speak. And so that's another thing. It's a double-edged sword right there with Rock. She actually, as soon as she found out that information, she tried to play it off and be cool. But the truth be told, she had to take the deal. Because, you know, the feds are dirty. They'll go and talk to Stefano. Be like, yeah, well, you know, we about to go and offer your friend Rock a deal, immunity. Let's see what she got to say. He be always says, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Marvin, take out the detector. He had better poop the brick straight up. She need to swim with the fishes. I'm too old to go to the pen for some jigaboo broad. Let him tell it. So, yeah, she in trouble. Let's see. Christo Black is so realistic. Unique is looking at this situation. Anyone in real life would think that way as well. This is why the writing in this show is superior. Okay, I think you might took it a little too far. Is superior to what? The Sopranos? No, I'm just playing. No, this show is superior to all the Power universe. I will give you that. And no show is perfect. Even the Sopranos got issues and plot holes and stuff. The amount of people they killed in that show, they would all went to jail. But I think how he's looking at it is smart, but also I'm wondering, like, what is he doing with his baby mama? Why he letting her struggle? But then I know once you start doing something with her, then they'll probably all know you back. But he could maybe reach out to her on the side and set something up for her to stay somewhere or whatever. But he don't have any money either, which is one of the things I'm wondering. When is he gonna make a money move? Like, you would have thought he would have robbed somebody or took something or whatever. We see he about to go ahead and this is probably my favorite part of the episode, when Marvin caught old boy at the Chinese spot stealing the dope. He said, I'm about to blast your Karate Kid ass up in this mouth. You better drop them drawers and let me see them egg rolls, little motherfucker. Drop them drawers. We see Unique kind of had held them at gunpoint. If anybody saw the previews for the next episode, it looked like he about to go ahead and get a little extra duck sauce. You better duck. Doop, 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 doop. Couldn't duck low enough. No, he Marvin and so I guess Unique found out they done switch sides on him, you know, and he ain't trying to have it. So Antonio Wingham, you say they're probably gonna put the murder on Rock. The murder of who? What you call it? Howard. Ambi Bambi, what's up? You say she was salty finding out Marvin had been working with Stefano behind her back and caught her. Yeah, it did. When the I'm glad you said that. You can see she played it off. But she thought, oh, with my Marvin? Oh, they was just talking about fishes. So Stefano under surveillance. You need to stop going over there and meeting with him. We're gonna have to send smoke signals. They talking about they didn't photograph her and Marvin meeting with Stefano. So, you know, yeah, Stefano, he hot like fire. Christo Black has Marvin, so she can play with it if she wants. That's true. But I think Marvin blew it when he took out old boy, because Stefano said that's a good earner. Plus, we see Marvin talking to Stefano. The feds, they documented it. Then Marvin takes out one of Stefano's associates the very next day or same night or whatever. That's not going to take too long to put two and two together. Oh, and two things I'm glad I just remembered that I wanted to bring up. The 90s was not that long ago, okay? Fingerprints was out. When Marvin took dude out, he left, and it was, sentimental or subliminal or whatever. I can't think of the word right now, but poetic justice when he took that 8 ball and put it in the corner pocket. Game over. Took that 8 ball, which is that ball, back dude, and put him in the corner pocket, took him out. But he put his fingers on it. And a good detective would test all those balls. I want to finger all the balls. I want you finger all the balls. Fingerprint all my balls. Who touched my ball? Don't you touch my balls without asking. They'd be like, why is Marvin's fingerprints here? And of course, they'll be interviewing him. How do you know this guy? I ain't never seen him before in my life. I never been there. Well, why is your fingerprints on this 8 ball in the corner pocket? Let me get a lawyer. Oh, your lawyer? He dead. Yeah, he in trouble. Marvin in trouble. So, and then after the lawyer got popped, why Unique put his fingers on the door handle to close it? Like, this dude, they gonna fingerprint that door. They gonna fingerprint and investigate. Nothing is out of place. He wasn't robbed. His wallet is still on him, but he done took a couple, and they know he got these risky clients. They gonna fingerprint that door. That's just standard procedure. When they stole my PlayStation 1, they fingerprinted the area, okay? Get to some of these comments. Abby, you say Marvin said, put the extra fortune cookies in that bag. I know. Hey, they trying to get extra off of me. You ain't taking extra from me. All right. Put that extra fortune cookies in there for me, though. He said, if every mama that was sick, you was giving away free spring rolls to every mama that was sick, how long you be in business? Yeah. They was like, okay. I take his little dumplings and I cut them off. Cut the little dumplings. Corey Washington, you say Marv realized that guy he killed had good points, but it was unrealistic how cocky the black guy was when Marv had a gun in his face. He really thought he was that valuable to an Italian mob guy. Truthfully, he was. Marvin might have killed himself doing that, because they value business, the Italian mob. And if he was keeping business going, even though he needed a little chin check, they didn't like bodies dropping like that. And he got to find somebody to replace him. Now he's looking at it as he's losing money. You cost me money. More so than what he might have been checking or stealing or whatever. So I think Marvin made a big mistake. Now, dude, you got to keep in mind, Marvin had guns in his face, and he didn't sit there and start, tweaking. He didn't play it cool. If you've been in the streets to a certain amount or had guns pulled on you more than once, you probably going to be calm in that situation. You probably ain't going to, be tweaking out. You saw after he got hit with that pool cue, he tried to pull out that pistol. He was still about to pop his ass. So, but he was talking, and you got to think, people in this world got egos, man. They all think they the baddest, the toughest. They all think they all killers and dealers, which they may be. But hey, man, anybody could get caught. And that's one thing one of the lessons I learned growing up. Not that it had to happen to me, but anybody can have anything happen to them. Anybody can get touched. Don't ever think you this or you that, or you can't do this or you can't do that. Because, man, everybody got to walk around. Everybody got to get something to eat. Everybody got their head down and go to sleep at a certain point. It's like, you know, everybody is vulnerable at some point in the day, you know. So well, I'm trying to look at this name. Molly Mo Ali M talks. Why do Unique keep banging his head? Yeah, why do Unique keep banging? Get it together, man. Get it together. I guess that was his way of having his therapy. He was knocking himself upside the head to get himself straight. He was upset. That's some old hood way of dealing things. It wasn't like he was a black woman that just got braids. That's what he just got braids. It's itching. They do that because it itched. You say he left the stick. Let's see, catch up with some of these comments. Christo Black, B Rilla was rapping like a current day rapper. I thought that too. He was rapping like a current rapper. That is true. I thought I was in my own mind when I was watching that. I'm like, he raps with flow of today. But it was people that were conscious then, Jay-Z or Nas or it wasn't a lot, common sense, but it wasn't as often. Wu-Tang had some lyrics at the time. Wu-Tang. But they would be rapping about some craziness too. So it was kind of hit or miss. Washington, yeah, B Rilla was too modern for the 90s. He didn't use any of the 90s NYC rapper lingo. That's true. That's why I figured he was a real person for today. I asked in the comments. So if anybody knows if he was a real rapper of today or something, let me know. Power has used real people. So I figured he must be a current rapper or something. Because I definitely didn't think he was just some actor. He actually had good flow. He didn't pull the Terrence Howard. It's hard out here for a film. I'm out here trying to get that paper, man. I'm winning the thing. I'm winning that paper, man. Everybody like, he should bring out a rap album. That would have been the worst thing for rap. Not that rap is already messed up, but it just show you could be an actor and come out with a rap career that you ain't even want. Just pretend good enough that you a rapper. Antoine Herring, you say Marvin still can't control his emotions. Let old boy push him when he should have kept it professional. Oh, snap. You know what? That's a great comment, man, because that alludes to what Marvin was saying in the very beginning. That was what tied it together. So remember, he was in the car with Lulu, and Lulu was saying that therapy helped and this and that. And Marvin like, I don't know, man, it ain't helped me. I did something that was there for somebody and they played, you know, forget it. Basically saying he done with that therapy. It didn't help him. And now we see at the end that he wasn't able to control his temper, and it's got him back into another jam potentially coming up. So, although when Jukebox came home, he was on the phone with Stefano, and it didn't seem like he was stressing. He was basically saying, you know, it was dude's fault, Stefano. He deserved it, and it'll be all good. But I do think Marvin is, yeah, that was a good point. They brought that back. Show Marvin, you know, he should have learned them lessons, man. And that's one thing in life, man. Some people want to act like they got to a certain spot by accident, but you know, we get these opportunities a lot of times to correct ourselves and things, and we don't learn that lesson, and we keep going, and then something happens, and then we want to be surprised or whatever. You know, I didn't used to wear my seatbelt all the time driving. I knew it was the law and this and that. I didn't even got pulled over a couple times and got a seatbelt ticket. As I was getting older, I'd wear it when it would be bad weather or whatever the case. But had I to learn when I got those tickets, then when I was in an accident, I would have been wearing it. And hell, I wouldn't have got possibly in this situation. You know, you have to be honest with yourself. And, you know, it's people that they say put your feet up so that you could keep the swelling down, and you don't. And then when you have to get that foot amputated, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised that you wasn't ever doing it. And then if this happened, now you talking about woe is me. You knew better. All kind of people told you, reminded you, you chose opposite. So, you know, it's the thing, man. So Marvin, it may be a wrap. And it had too many chances to learn them lessons. Now the lesson about to learn you. Time for you to get taught. Straight up. Jigger, you say Unique gonna beat his head worse than Ronnie. That's funny. Antoine Herring, big facts. Wise man says it's always somebody out there who plays harder than you. Hey, that is the truth. That is the truth, man. And I've seen it in life. You think you want something? You don't really know what you want in life till you see somebody else really want it, and then you really know you ready to go this far, you ready to compete, you ready to stay up, you ready to do this, do that. How bad do you want it? Maybe you do want it. Maybe you don't want it that bad. I saw some things that made me realize that I didn't want some stuff that bad. I didn't want to be Kanan that bad in those years to go through some of the stuff people go through. I didn't want it that bad. So, and that's cool. Because some of the people that wanted it that bad, they didn't have to go through a whole lot that they probably, you know, got some mixed feelings about, to say the least. So, you say Mo, Unique is still strategic though. He's everywhere moving in the shadows. I wonder what he was thinking when he seen Pernessa. That's why I was thinking he should have tried to figure out a way to get her a little place, get her some help, be there, you know, a spot in the suburbs or something. I don't know where the New York suburbs are or how far, where they go to Long Island or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'd have tried to figure out a little spot or something to get them and go where I can still be there with them, but not seen, you know, by the ops. So let me go ahead and break down the MOORESCORE for this episode. It's where I try to give a little non-partial, non-biased review for the episode. So let's go ahead and break it down. All right. The MOORESCORE. It's my rating system I use, try to be impartial. So 4 categories, 25 points each for those that don't know, give you a score of 100. The visual cinematography, they always use good cameras. They make the show look like a retro show to kind of put you into that feel of the time period, which I always enjoy. So with the visual cinematography, this episode, they had a couple things like Rock. They did a couple of zoom in close-ups on Rock when she had a couple moments where she was talking with Kanan. like with the trust issues, a couple other things they did, like when Kanan was saying he ain't ready and they showed everybody stand up, the visuals and a couple little angles and things. You kind of felt that gravity, but then at the same time you realize he too young to realize, dude, you ain't running nothing up in here. You over your head, shorty. So I like how they told him, hey man, we don't know, you a bad business partner and you don't listen to your mama. He like, you don't know nothing about me. Yeah, but we learning. I'm like, okay. So I give it it was a couple other little points with like Unique looking at his baby mama's struggle bringing the groceries in and things and the perspective. So on the score of 1 to 25, I'm gonna give it a 21. They did a pretty good job as far as painting the picture with the angles and the scenes. The storyline and plot for this episode, I liked it. I know some people weren't as pleased with the first episode because it was kind of revisiting some of the things from the finale from last season, just from a different perspective. Some people didn't mind it as much. I was kind of, I liked it, but then again, I enjoyed this episode a lot more. I enjoyed, the new angles of the storyline. I like that the lawyer got taken out, and I want to see, the evolution of Kanan and what's going on with him and his mama and Pop Smoke. And so I think this was a good episode. Seeing Unique coming through from, behind the shadows, plotting his revenge. Lulu, he's out of rehab trying to do the right thing, which in the Power Universe means Lulu probably won't make it out of this season. Overall, the scene with Kanan and the old girl and the Jimmy hat, yeah, it was okay. I get it. I don't want to hate on it, but she was very mature. But then she did kind of go through that, so I get it. I'm gonna give this episode storyline, I'm gonna give it a 22. It did have that moment, I guess, that Unique got into the building. That's probably, I only watched it once just a little while ago, but coming to mind, that's probably the only thing that may be on some BS. And who knows, maybe he killed the dog. And maybe we'll find that out. But then again, he probably didn't, because then how would the lawyer get in? So a lot of things, you go down that rabbit hole. Overall, I think that wasn't the worst part of the episode. Special effects, makeup, costumes, they always got Rock looking amazing. She got the body for 90s clothing. Unique as far as he's probably the only one that's going to have the makeup for this episode or this season for the most part consistently. And so overall, I'm gonna give them a 20 because they pretty much keep the usual standard that they had for this show. For the look and feel for this show is pretty much authentic for the era. And then, and also, I see Rock got rid of that Range Rover. She driving the Land Cruiser, which that was popping. If you was driving the Land Cruiser back then, you was doing it big. Okay, for those that don't know, that was the number one SUV you could possibly have in the 90s at that time. Because the Range was getting old. And then we see entertaining fun factor. I enjoyed this episode. I was entertained. Was it the best episode of time? Of course not, but I did like it. I'm gonna give it a 22, and that would bring this to an 85 for this episode. I could give it an 85. If some people think it was a 9 out of 10, I can see where the case could be made, especially after watching last episode. This is better than last episode. Last episode wasn't bad. I think I gave it an 80 on the MOORESCORE. So I think this was about at least a 5 better, But you know, if some people think it was just as good or, you know, on par for the same, I get it. You all let me know what you would rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 or whatever, A, B, C, D, in the comments, what you think about this episode. And, you know, let me think. Let me see what you got here. Jigga said, everybody leaving fingerprints everywhere. Rock left the burner with Howard. I have to look back at that one as far as did she have on gloves or not. But Marvin with the pool ball, Unique with the doorknob. The pool ball and the doorknob I didn't like at all. She did say to Kanan she found the opportunity to handle solve the problem, so she solved it. And he like, that problem was my father. So maybe she didn't plan on leaving it and left it. Maybe she didn't wear gloves. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't remember that. But that is a problem. Like, all they got to do is make these people wear gloves then if you want them touching everything. I don't know. They all are smart enough to put on a pair of gloves before they do a hit. Rock would have put on some gloves, you know, Marvin and whatever. Hell, even if all he planned to do was whack him a little bit, I would have still wore gloves. You never know what may happen. OJ wore gloves. Anyway. B. Corey Washington, you said B. Rilla, a.k.a. Partisan Fontaine, is an American rapper and songwriter from Newburgh, New York. He is best known for his 2018 single Back It Up featuring Cardi B. Okay, so I thought you was making a joke with Partisan Fontaine, as in like he got a pardon or something. My bad. So that's his real name. All right, so good looking out. So he is a rapper. He's from Newburgh, New York. So he had a song with Cardi B in 2018. Cardi B was out in 2018. Where does the time go, people? Cardi B was not out in 2018. Really? Cardi B was out in 2018? Ambi Bambi. He used to date Meg the Stallion. Meg the Stallion find the wackest. I ain't trying to diss dude. She finds the where does she find these dudes, rappers to be with? She finds the rappers ain't nobody heard of in MASH. Smash. Megan the Stallion need, I don't want to say that because I don't know dude and I don't want to make it seem like, you know, he ain't this or that. But I think she needs to have better standards for herself. Again, who am I, right? She probably gonna be like, don't be telling me about my standards. You need to mind your business. You wish you did have standards. You just hating. Be like, girl, shut up. If I did standards, I wouldn't have been up in that. I'm lying. No, I'm just playing. Nah, but I figured that he was a real rapper because that flow, I give him credit, was smooth. It's not easy to be an actor as a rapper for one episode of a show. I don't know how many episodes he doing, but to learn how to be a rapper and be smooth like that and you ain't a rapper, that's very difficult. It's easier to be an actor, I think, than it is to be a rapper. To act like a rapper. It's easier to be an actor and act like a thug or something than it is to be an actor trying to act like a rapper. That's, you know, the timing. Anyway. And be funny. I'm about to get up out of here, y'all, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through. We got, what, 50 people up in here right now live. Get up out of here. Y'all got any other comments before I go? Let me know. Corey Washington, you say he helped write WAP. Okay. He wrote songs for Kanye and Megan also. I could tell he had some skills as far as behind the mic. If he helped write WAP, no wonder he was in prison. I got that WAP. I'm in prison. Nah. Nah, but if he's writing those songs, again, I don't know. I can't tell you the words for WAP, but I know that was a big hit. And that if you writing that type of stuff, then at least you're getting a little bit of money, publishing checks and royalties. Hopefully you're getting a little something coming through. So, I say he's somewhat successful, in my opinion. Anyway, everybody don't have to be Elon Musk rich to be successful. I think that's actually opposite of success. You took probably way more than your share. This is a fine line between success and then greed. But anyway, Corey Washington, you like that WAP explanation? He that's where he got that inspiration. He was locked up. All the boys talk about my mangina is just the wettest and let me get up out of here, y'all, before I go. Let's see. CR22. You say people need to stop going off synopsis like the network doesn't know what they put on them. Let's not start saying what IMDb says either. We might as well consider Wikipedia to be real. You've lost me with a couple of these. What did I say? I must have forgot. People need to stop going off synopsis like the network doesn't know what they put on them. What? And that's too late, too early. I might have missed what I said or didn't say. Might as well consider Wikipedia to be real. Oh, you saying Corey's saying stuff, not you. Okay, I'm thinking, wait a minute. I don't know. Oh, okay. So you think what Corey said about writing WAP and stuff, Wikipedia and IMDb may not be true. Well, I don't know. I never tried to put these things out there. I know that there's nothing that's perfect. Sometimes mistakes can be made. Honestly, sometimes people be out there on some BS. I have seen some people complain about Wikipedia before. I haven't experienced it in my time using it. Now, a lot of things I look up on there, I probably know or halfway kind of have an idea, but I don't know. I guess that's for each of us to find out. Corey say, try putting some BS on Wikipedia and it will be erased. Maybe that's something I need to look into. Maybe do a deep dive study, do some investigative reports. Let me get up out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good night. I hope everybody had a enjoyable time. I appreciate all the support, everybody coming through. And I'll be back Friday at 9. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this. So I'll see y'all on the next one. Deuces.